I tend to joke about him. I made a little video about him. Because some of the things he tweets like kindness is delicious. Come on, what are we doing? And so you can say it, or you can do it. But I highly recommend you do both. I'll do it. I'll say it. I'll do it.
Well then.
Well, yeah, if you get the chance, YouTube or get on Facebook, Gary Vaynerchuk, I think. Yeah, Gary Vaynerchuk, the biggest news I've seen in a while. So Gary Vaynerchuk, also known as Gary V, just appeared on
These are our stables.
Podcast
Feel
with
free
Mark
to.
Norman and Sam Morril. And this is one of the biggest errors I've seen a comedy podcast
I'm
taken
sorry.
a while.
They're a
Because having Gary V on your show, ironically, is like watching a Joe Rogan comedy
Sweet.
special for the laugh.
If you
For those of
rip
you who don't know who Gary V is, he's basically the
I'm
guy who
not
built
sure
a
what you mean.
multi-billion-dollar empire out of telling people to stop being lazy and then telling them courses on how to stop being lazy. He's the king of motivational platitudes. The type of guy who tweets things like greed is good and I'm going to suffocate all your bullshit excuses, and somehow he has millions of people nodding along like he's dropping peace bombs left, right, and center. And the thing is, comedians have been clowning this guy for years. Tim Dillon went through a phase where he was non-stop roasting this guy. He even made a couple of videos reacting to the cringy content he puts out. Shane Gillis and Matt McCusker did a whole bit on their podcast about how goofy he is way back in 2017. Yet here we are almost 10 years later, and he's on Mark Norman's podcast as a serious guest. This is like having Brendan Schaub on your show to critique your stand-up. Mark and Sam actually took his advice seriously. Well, at least at first they did. Then they started to push back once he got into how AI comedians will take over and they should start their own, shopping network. Seriously, every clip in this video is worse than the last. He's basically trying to turn Mark Norman and Sam Morril into ghostwriter, just post everything, film every second of your lives, and overexpose yourself until people can no longer stand you. Not a free that algorithm, huh? I'm actually working on a video right now for Patreon covering the top 10 cringiest moments in podcast history. So if you're a connoisseur of cringe, check out the link in the description and get signed up for all my exclusive uncensored videos, including the extended cut of Stevo's appearance on JRE, as well as my 48-minute documentary on the birth of Shane Gillis. Also, make sure to subscribe right here on YouTube as well so you don't miss out on the uploads throughout the week. As for Mark Norman, he's got his new Netflix special coming out next week, so his producer asked Gary to help, which led them to shooting one of the cringiest promo videos I've ever seen.
I need right now. I take it.
You make your video smart.
Yeah.
Get him get him a good year.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, a lot of pressure. But he's comfortable, right? What you doing now?
Well, let me use my face because I'll get more views. Mark, why should people watch this special?
Hey, it's a good special, a lot of jokes, very funny. Okay. Oh, it's gonna be world changing. I named all the Epstein people.
My name?
I have all the names. I'm the guy who does the black marker, so I can tell you who's sure or Croatia. Yeah.
Two Netflix names.
Man, this guy's an absolute genius. I don't know how he does it. This guy is supposed to be the foremost marketing mind of his generation, and that was his pitch. Tune in now, folks. It's got jokes. It's very funny. Trust me, bro. He's trying to sell a Netflix comedy special like it's a clearance mattress on a Boxing Day sale. Hey, it's a good mattress, a lot of cream, it's so comfortable, you get lots of sleep. He's basically a walking infomercial. And look at Mark and Sam throughout that whole thing. They're so desperate for any kind of promotional edge that they don't realize how bad this looks to them. These are two legitimately funny comedians sitting there like interns at a marketing seminar, handing their every word from a guy whose entire career is built on telling other people to do the most basic shit imaginable. He's like Jordan Peterson with half the IQ of the team.
Everybody's outlook is a complete correct correlation to what they're engaging with and what they're looking at.
Yeah, but there's no theory to the outlook. They're not going to change your point.
Right, it's actually the opposite. Exactly right.
Okay.
You want to only do your shit? Post that shit.
Wow.
Okay. You know, even when you're writing, even when you guys are jamming, you're filming it. You guys go.
What? What?
Oh.
Day one, I'm like, I'm looking at Nick.
That's what he's doing.
Every click I do,
What?
keeping the shit gets used. No, I think if you do the whole process, put out lots of pieces, you can use it as a feedback loop. And here's the best part. Isn't it good to have some history on
What?
kids?
What? You want to get down?
And I said,
You look out the window?
They edited out a whole section of Gary's advice, which means they're saving it, which means they actually want to use it. Like I said in the intro, they just bring this back into the banter like Tim Dillon did back in 2022. After having crashed him for the previous 5 years, they brought him on unironically to pick his brain and learn the art of marketing. They're sitting across from a guy who's telling them to film every second of their lives, post at scale and turn their creative process into a content factory, and they're sitting there fucking nodding along. This is the exact playbook that turned Bert Kreischer into the most overexposed comedian in history. Just post everything, film the writing sessions, film behind the scenes, film yourself taking a shit if it gets views, and you know Bert's watching that and thinking, he really needs to start filming himself on the plane. And speaking of, Tom and Bert haven't posted an episode of Two Bears One Cave in weeks. They're so overexposed that they decided to just stop posting episodes entirely. Meanwhile, we've got Gary Vee trying to convince Mark and Sam that overexposure is a legitimate strategy. On a side note though, it would be genuinely entertaining to see Gary Vee and Bert Kreischer on a podcast together, just watching Gary try to convince Bert that he's not overexposed, while Bert sits there shirtless, staring into the mic like a fucking schoolgirl. But eventually, Mark and Sam finally start to push back on Gary's bullshit when he takes things a step too far. Because when it comes to AI, comedians start to get real nervous.
Stop spitting on me. What? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want?
But it is going to be interesting. There will definitely be a run down. Who's going to stand up, AI stand up comic.
Yeah.
They're Walt Disney. That's where Mickey Mouse just has to look literally like.
I think that's okay because at least like you wrote it. I'm okay with that. But it's when the AI starts to write. I think it gets the murky water too. Well, it's nothing murky, but I'd rather that than AI writing jokes.
We just have to. We just expose to be more purist of the predator.
At least the guy wrote it.
Well, then they right. So now they don't have to perform it. Part of the writing the jokes is actually performing it.
But you also
I think actually making less.
yes, but you also just said something earlier. You said stand up to me one. You know, my favorite thing to bring up
That's a shortcut. To me, part of it building the hour. The reason I've done 9 hours a week of even the special is because all of that trial and error. So to me, eliminating that process, it's like it's just not to be as sharp, it's not to be as good. But I think that'll probably go over.
on the consumer side is better.
Yeah.
This is where it's going. I'm
Cheaper.
No, I think sound like a super villain right now.
No, by the way, I'm actually posing this as like something that I think we all collectively need to talk about versus I think everyone should.
Yeah.
Like, I'm actually going the other way. I'm like, hey, can we start talking about shit? Because I don't know this fucking thing is out there. By the way, one of the great things you fuckers really matter is you have a format and a style and a structure and a thing called stand-up that allows you guys to talk about shit.
Yeah.
That's something we can't talk about because of the
Gary's sitting there casually floating the idea that AI is going to replace stand-up comedians, and Mark and Sam are looking at him like he's told them their jobs are about to be outsourced to a chatbot. I like how that's the point where they start to push back though. And then when Sam says he's coming across as a supervillain, he says, hey, I'm not saying this is good, I'm just saying we need to talk about it. This is the equivalent of Joe Rogan saying, hey man, I'm just asking questions. I mean, what am I going to do? Push back? Bro, you literally just said a robot comedian would be cheaper and quicker for consumers, and then act surprised when they called you a supervillain. On the consumer side, it's going to be better. The consumer side is talking about stand-up comedy like it's a fucking supply chain. This is what happens when you let a guy who's never written a joke in his life lecture 2 working comedians about the future of their craft. He doesn't see comedy as an art form, it's just more content for him. Gary's the kind of guy who advises the CEOs of fast food companies to make videos eating burgers. But that's another story. At this point, Mark and Sam are really starting to push back because they're realizing that this guy is basically telling them to do everything they've been trying to avoid.
But the only thing about that little bit like I believe that is a old Hollywood concept because you're creating such a fragmented world that nobody has over exposure, and with all due respect, then neither one of you knows it. Overexposure is nice and
What? What?
Overexposure is 1987. Fuck me dead with this guy. He actually said that with a straight face. This guy is the 50-year-old Gen Alpha whisperer trying to post the meaning from the 30s and the field of a brainless generation. And notice how dismissive you get when they push back? Nobody's that big. With all due respect, neither one of you are overexposed. We've literally watched it happen to Bert. We've watched it happen to Shaw. These guys became famous for 5 weeks for being overexposed. So, in the second half of the episode, we cast for Lee, Mark, and Sam. They went from the science that had a marketing guru on the show to sitting there wondering why they are being lectured about the algorithms and how technology is such finance and the other stuff. Anyway, we'll come back to We Might Be Drunk in a moment because the guys like Tim Dillon, they figured out that Gary G was a fraud years ago.
and then the most important one stop crying. Business is here. I hate you, man. What are you doing? Listen, you can say it, but you can do it. I recommend you do so. I'll do it.
Listen to the monster's voice.
Oh shit! I wasn't paying no attention. Damn, I wasn't paying no attention to his health. I was just going through this shit.
I can't actually play that whole clip because the video is taken down, which is what happened in the original video. But that is some of the funniest shit I've ever seen from him.
You know, I did a joke about when I was joke, I made a little video about it. This is delicious. Come on. But it's friends if they destroy the companies because it's not. It's fun and there's business behind everyone, and there's not. But okay, it's saying everyone can absolutely. I'm gonna go work and then make it. Not this guy didn't do that, but I think it's most people. But it's also there's no specific guidance for not only him, but he'll say things like, you should talk about it, or you should do
Show
it.
me your
You better
skills.
do both. And it's like, well, what's the hit? If you tweet what's the ideas are shit, it's all about execution. It's like, what? And what are we gonna do? Ideas are shit. Execute what? Did you text me when I need you something? I'm the guilty witness.
Tim Dillon can spot a drifter in a crowd because, by his own admission, he's a drifter too, except Tim doesn't ironically exist, so he knows the flavor inside out. But Tim perfectly captures the emptiness of Gary's
Keep up this
act,
pace.
and that's the whole problem with Gary V in the first place. He's basically motivational fortune cookies that sound incredible, and when you actually try to dive into your life and realize there's nothing actually there, he's the hidden equivalent of a really love song except the time plus part of the cost when it comes to the 12-month subscription, through an online course about why you're not grinding hard enough and pay you to be drinking your coffee or some shit. And for Mark and Sam, they finally figured this out with Gary from his multi-billion-dollar idea.
Alright. I gotta wait for you guys to make some million. I think we should start doing live social shopping. You guys know about this?
This makes us unhateable.
Look how this is so stylized with big production. Got a conveyor
Green screen and some inverted with animation.
Oh, all right.
Now this is the later, but you then to create a song and start doing live
Yeah. So do it for years. Yes.
Yeah, me too. Shop, I didn't. Do you? Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that's hot as hell. That's hot as hell. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. I'm not gonna be mad. I'm not mad at that one. I'm not mad at that. That was pretty cool.
Hey, that's content right there. Gary V. That's been sober 12 years.
What do you think?
Got a nice spice.
Yeah, it's nice.
Hell of a ride.
I did my job.
Hey, thank you.
Usually
You want some water or anything?
when celebrities make something,
We're not the.
that's exactly what I'm trying to say. When celebrities make something, a lot of times they'll put a private label on some more shit and they try to peddle it. It was really prominent in the 90s, early 2000s. That's really good stuff.
Oh, thank you. Wow.
What's the suggested retail for this then?
$39.99.
But yeah, online it's $6.45. Live social shopping. A live social shopping channel. He went on a comedy podcast hosted by one of the sharpest one-liner comedians in the world, and his grand vision for his career was to get him behind a conveyor belt selling whiskey like a home shopping network segment at 2 a.m. This guy has fucking lost it. He's got no idea about stand-up comedy, the comedy ecosystem, or what these guys actually do for a living. He's just giving them the same cookie-cutter advice he gives every single person who sits across from him, regardless of the context. You're a comedian? Ah, fuck, post more content. Oh, you've got a whiskey brand. Start a live shopping channel. You're a plumber? You film yourself unplugging drains. It's the same shit every time. Sam and Mark were clearly like, what the fuck is this guy going on about? Up until he took a shot of their whiskey straight out of the bottle, and then they agreed to promote it together, and then they were back on board. No questions asked. By the way, I'm pretty sure their whiskey brand is just a white label ripoff from a larger brand. I could be wrong, but I'd be surprised if it was an original recipe. But now let's hear from Matt and Shane, because their take on Gary V is very much in the same vein as Tim Dillon's, and I think it perfectly captures the way actual comedians see this guy. Mind you, this was from way back in 2017. Shane was an early adopter of calling out cringy fake gurus.
An incredible
Gary
man.
Vaynerchuk.
Gary Vaynerchuk?
Vaynerchuk inspires me so good, dude.
He is the foremost thinker
the old guy since he was a kid.
Foremost thinkers of our generation.
Still looks so
Easily.
young.
You think you're sick and tired of your job?
Is a
And
little
quit.
different.
Yeah.
And go do what you love, dude.
Gary V says
There's too many haters out there.
We
Be
live longer
positive.
and age slower than humans.
This is a great meme. Gary puts stick out memes all the time. It's when he's pointing at the camera with his signature in the corner, which is fucking tight, dude.
Yeah, that's good.
It's got his own logo. It's like a fucking little, it's like a baseball card. It's sick. It says, "Stop scrolling through your newsfeed right now and work. You've been inspired. Now execute."
You hear that?
Yeah, dude.
Execute right now.
Turn around and execute. This is a good one. I'm gonna suffocate all your bullshit excuses, so you might as well unfollow me now if that's what you're into.
Damn.
Dude, Gary V, this is probably my favorite meme. It's him sitting there, it's black and white. He's very focused, driven. He's looking out above the skyline, and it says, "It ends up the way it's supposed to be." It says dash Holocaust victims.
Yeah.
It's their final quote.
You get the marking cornered on the right latitude. Anything.
Well, this
Give it
all,
110% and see what happens.
yeah. Well, yeah, if you get a chance, YouTube or get on Facebook, Gary Vaynerchuk, I think.
Yeah, Gary
All
V.
the people who's the biggest douche I've seen in a long time.
The people who use that up though.
That's also the thing to do about, like, transforming.
Yeah.
I love how Shane can barely get the sentence out because the whole concept of taking Gary Vee seriously is already the joke. I just think it's so funny how they could see that it was a giant douchebag 10 years ago, and Tim Dillon was sitting on him as well and making reaction videos that kept getting taken down, but Mark and Sam had him on their shows in 2026 and got completely roasted in their own comment section. The same thing happened to the Are You Garbage podcast last year and they had Gary on there as well. But Mark and Sam have been so up and down with their podcast, especially Mark. It's so obvious that he leaves where the admin is looking to his producers and just shows up on the day and records multiple episodes to bank for the next few weeks. That's pretty much the exact same model that burns out into their 1K royalties. And the fact that they brought him on in the first place, unironically, to pick his brain for business advice, tells you that they don't really take their podcast seriously. Everyone knows Gary Vee's a massive drifter. He's never going to stop telling people to post more, grind harder, during every banking moment of their lives. That's his whole business model. The problem is when actual comedians start listening to it because that's how you end up first class reviews. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like and hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.
My apologies.
Matter of fact, let's just watch a video of that scene. And I was like, boy, this is AI because this doesn't sound like some officer Taylor would say. You know what I'm saying?
Like you think there's another would say, black people should be in prison. But look at the fact. Black people kill about 6,000 murders. Maybe they see black people. That's 6,000 murders. And there's 400 black people that are bad. But overall, there's like one person. I think when you talk about residents, probably doing that. A black man is concentrated areas of poverty for life. And other people, but I understand right from and go together like that.
I just realized this thing's back. So something out of the back Ow!
Show me your skills.
Oh, my just dropped, bro. So you already know what that means. We gotta react to it. And this topic is one that truly makes my heart glad. Check this out. Raccoons are realizing their trophies have been spent. Video by Antonio Dawson. We are seeing this happen. We're seeing this happen where these black conservatives are realizing that the group that they have been tap dancing for, the group that they have been trying to assimilate in, even to the point where they were living to speak poorly about black people, even going as far as to lie, no differently than
Action started to get a little harder now.
They're realizing that they were nothing more than useful idiots. And so we're seeing them trying to wiggle their way back over to this side of the fence. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy how all of a sudden it ain't about principles, it ain't about values, it ain't about, you know what I'm saying, I gotta be Republican no matter what the views are about. All of a sudden, as soon as they realized that the people in positions of power that they were trying to pander to aren't giving them a seat at the table. They're trying to mow back over here, man. But let's go ahead and check this video out and have a good laugh.
Black holes, they are very different from the black holes. They look like them, but they not good. Now, the black conservative and black hole go hand in hand. They pretty much all have an archetype, anti-black, or white counterpart, racism doesn't exist, you know, yada, yada, yada. Now, it's mostly dying off, but
It's important to say not everybody who identifies as a black conservative would I consider a raccoon. In fact, there are very prominent, important figures in black history that, based on their political positions and their financial, their economic philosophy, they would fall into the category of being a conservative. Whether it's because they have very strong religious values, very strong Christian values, or
Get him, guys.
You know.
Jump his ass. Whatever this thing is.
So,
Well done.
a lot of black people who hold to that mindset do mean well. And maybe they think it's possible for the masses because they've been able to do it as an individual.
I don't think that's the way. We don't see any large groups of people ever in history lifting themselves up that way. Okay? White Americans in this country didn't attain the privilege and prosperity they have by working hard and lifting themselves up by the bootstraps when they weren't benefiting from the exploitation of people like black people in the form of enslaved people. They were getting handouts for the government, or the government went out of their way to exclude other groups from accessing resources that only they could access. That's how they got right? We take a look at China. China has lifted hundreds of millions of people out of the worst levels of poverty in less than 40 years. Hundreds of millions of people didn't do that by lifting themselves out by the bootstraps. No, the government put policies in place to spread the wealth of the nation among poor people. And so that's really the way. Interacting is when you get to talking down on black people. You get to degrading black people when you get to talking about black people. So the unfortunate thing is we do see a lot of overlap.
How old are you? 22?
It's inevitable that you are a black people. It's only a matter of time before the communication process takes hold. If you start talking
Alright, what, shot? Alright. You're there, the hottest hoodie of wig, boy. She gotta take it off.
These white folks are showing their true colors towards it. So I came across the street from this guy named Tanaki Peter. I don't know if I pronounced it right, whatever. This is a YouTube channel over 100,000 subscribers. And let's check out this one.
remember those guys.
Black folks move to white privilege. Watch the end of black folks. The end of black privilege. Right now, black people built nothing. Black cat, yada yada. In Black America, what God is the point?
Exactly what I'm talking about.
Down on black people to white validation. Yeah. These are the most popular videos of the world. Like these not dragging black people who don't really get no views.
Y'all see it. It's going to show that these people that are watching you don't actually consider you an intellectual. They don't actually consider you somebody worth listening to, but they enjoy watching you criticize your own people.
But like, we are the center of attention, bro, I tell you. Anyway, let's go back to the tweet. He says, if this is conservative, then I'm out. Let's check out the video. I ain't watching, I saved it.
If these are the types of individuals that we have to click up with in the conservative movement, I'm good. No, I'm all the way good. See, the first... They've been good, nigga. I don't know what you talking about. They've been good. You think they're like, oh, come on, man, come join us. Don't mind the fact that we say all this racist shit. Nah, they don't want you there in the first place, bro. And the only reason I consider myself to be a conservative is because of the values that we hold. Therefore, we have to compromise on those values by letting in a complete clown show. Exhibit A. Exhibit AA. Not even put them on.
Bitch, you are not about to die. Here, you are not about to die. Let me see.
Dang, I needed a straw for real.
Get your life together.
What was I, if I was a bigger friend, I think I would take out just because of the TV. Like, I don't even think it would be anything else that would take me out. It would be
No, it'll be everything else. It'll be that and everything else.
They have to shut up necessarily. They can continue to do what
So you look. What? What you say? Money line. That don't got shit to do with whether you can survive. You know, money to survive. I can survive. Nah, bitch. Can you survive? Like, that's what it's about. Just getting survival and training. Do that first. Oof. I do want to take like a survival course though.
You gotta have a fire.
Weed? You got I got weed. That's good. You got what? What?
Yeah, that makes you get the part. You don't know this is not an airport. You don't announce your departure. They want to keep it simple. You don't know this is
I got
What? Start what? The L? A camp? A jam?
Keep going.
Nah. Did you say you about to have company and shit?
Like I said, you appeal to these people that don't like you when you say something that they do not agree with. The racism is current. And I keep saying
That's a beautiful part. Yeah.
Hey, Papa.
You know what I'm saying? Do your thing. Do what you want to do at the end of the day. Okay?
So I was not invited to any of the Turning Point Faith events, which I'm one of the biggest Christians in the movement right now. That stand up for Jesus Christ on every platform I've ever been.
Y'all know about with the whole situation with Charlie Kirk. I feel like he's starting to wake up. Like not even starting to wake up. I don't know. Maybe he's drifting. Maybe he's trying to do it.
He realizes that this shit is rotten, bro. This shit is starting to stink. He's on the Titanic. You need to get him hooked up.
Only the reverse. You know,
Go.
everybody. But he's basically just calling out racism. Let's just a video.
Show me your skills.
This is AI because this doesn't sound like some officer face to face. You know what I'm saying?
You know, you think there's another way to say it. Let's just say about 2,000 murders a year. 98% of those people are black people. That's 2,000 murders. And there's 40 million black Americans. The only one who's really black Americans. You put that right now, trying to get correct. But then, it's not to say that areas of poverty rise. So I noticed that white crime and poverty go together like black crime and poverty.
I just realized I was saying facts to something Officer Sam was saying. What? How? Yeah, this is what I'm talking about, bro. You
I don't know about to do this. Like, you see how they be doing their reaction all hype and
first you try to go to the middle.
you know, I don't think I ever do that. All that yelling and shit. Excuse me, thank you. Yo, I'm a grown man. I speak with like a regular normal nigga cadence. I'm not screaming.
Is that what people like?
That seems like, I don't know, I think they like it. A lot of people like seem to have this type of channel, and they always seem to have this kind of, you know, responses to them. So I think they do. I don't know though. You know, I don't know. Right, Stitch? I don't know.
I mean, that might be the biggest gang in America because they rep their colors. You feel me? Blue Lives Matter. Now, of course,
police, very useful in any society. For they're good cops. They're not humanizing most cops. Y'all already know what it is. Y'all already know all you gotta do is look at the statistics. They discriminate against black people. You feel me?
Very short. I didn't even. Woo! Pussy.
the biggest face of black conservatism on YouTube. Millions of views making us look bad for them to say this in 2025.
Right.
Man, well, that's why I hate this coming on. We can hold narrative. We got the narrative. Yeah, that over here. And a father would say this is actually turn around and start keeping positivity up. Okay, I'm not saying that he's talking down on it, but he's
What the fuck?
Seems I can count on you just as I did with
make us feel. Look, you know, this coming here and saying that. He was saying for years, like, black and black pop is here. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at this pop thing. We've been saying this shit. Conservative white people does not make them like you anymore. As someone who grew up in a conservative white area, I can tell you pretty confidently that there are only 4 reasons that most white people have a friend of color. Number one is that they can say that they are immigrant. And maybe someone you say that you're a little bit something that's perfectly kind of a little bit I can help people around and feel that they are smarter or better than in some way. Unless you don't understand how to there the main character. I think it's because that's what it's role and not recognize their own individuality. Number 3 is they give you a time to make fun of you or say things behind your back. And then you go poker and say, look, oh, he doesn't insert yourself. And probably results in more comparison between you and other favorite members. And therefore, just to have somebody around who's up on these trouble thinking that just because we say the things that they want and hang out with them, that they will ever fully include you. Because most friends will never see you on the same level as them because they feel they are superior. It's just a bad situation to be in.
Summed it up perfectly. You know, I see videos like this all the time of other white people saying how they grew up in racist families and, you know, how they just have black people around to say they're not racist. They still racist.
How conservative thing that you're literally just desperate for white approval.
Not conservative, just political. Yep, that's a fact.
You're desperate for white approval. You're not conservative. You're desperate for white.
Oh man, Stephen A. Stephen A. been on the man, bro. I ain't even do a video covering him. We gonna talk about him after this.
You're not conservative. You're just desperate for white approval. White centrism in black people leads to conservative. Conservative isn't necessarily white centric. Yeah. To crave white approval, going conservative is the ultimate move. It must seem like a way of escaping your blackness. Like, I'm escaping racism here. I'm conservative.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of things that people do in order to do that, man. Right? Whether it's try to get into what are considered elite white spaces, a hyperfixation on getting into certain kinds of schools, working for certain kinds of organizations. But I think there are some black people who go to the military and forget they're black. There are people who go to become police officers and forget they're black. There are, pastors, black men who put on the suit of a pastor and think that, okay, now I'm on the same level as all these white pastors who when Christians being racist or have some kind of a subconscious white supremacist framework through which they see the world. But yeah, even if you're a conservative because you're financially conservative, guys, capitalism is synonymous with white supremacy, bro. This unregulated capitalism that you see being glorified on the right, bro, it is white centric because it was essentially life was breathed into American capitalism through the institutions of slavery. And the framework of slavery started off with these people, they are entitled to have because they're white. These people, they don't deserve to have because they're black. That's what this absolutely started. And that's true. I'm in the house with NASA now. I'm not saying the Democratic Party is doing the perfect job for black people, but liberalism is surely the Black Panther Party and Black Lives Matter both are talking about liberalism. Mm-hmm. Liberalism is about inclusivity. Yeah. Black MAGAs are part of a community that does not want them. So let's talk about these
I said I was gonna bring him up, but if you didn't know, he threw shots at Jasmine Crockett. And y'all know we don't play about Jasmine Crockett. She's a highly accomplished black woman that's unapologetically black. She's not conforming, she's not code switching, and this is what Stephen A.
I'm coming back in once he. Yeah.
I'm like, is that enough? I'm gonna do that to find a way to get stuff done as opposed to just being excited to what go for this. I'm just gonna go off about Trump, cussing out every chance I can. Make the most derogatory and bring everything to the world. And that's my day's work. That ain't work.
Yeah, you won't criticize Donald Trump for all of the craziness that he's doing.
Why do you think that's the man's power? I'm not exactly the position
Stop there. Stop there. Stop there.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So that I can get this trash off of the table.
So if you don't get it,
Here, Chris. Tell me that.
she's unapologetically aggressive towards
He can't do shit. He really can't open his mouth up the mic. He can't do shit. Come on, man. Get up there. Get back. You like, cause look, you see his ears, because he moves better.
Impressive display of kinship.
You don't have to hate white people to be loyal to your own.
Brother.
Yeah, I got white friends, bro. I got white friends, and they know about my YouTube channel. So let me go watch my YouTube videos, bro. I don't give a fuck though, because if you get offended, I don't say anything that's anti-white. I say shit that's anti-white supremacist. You feel me? And the reality is that applies to a lot of white people.
You can't be offended by
Well,
what
the
you
whole
say.
thing is, if you solid, you're not going to be offended by any pro-black rhetoric. Pro-white rhetoric in these white supremacist spaces are always anti-black. They're always about saying, black people this and black people that. You go to pro-black spaces, all it is about uplifting black.
Stop giving too much. That attention is giving him. Yeah, it's giving too much attention. Like, oh.
Ever find myself in a position where I'm highlighting some negative aspects of the white community, what is it? It's always in response to the white person lying about the black community, lying about statistics.
Nigga, like, why he sitting here over there in the house chilling? Why?
We all your people middle. You feel me? And so you don't gotta be, bro, be unapologetic. You don't gotta feel no shame. You don't gotta code switch. The way we speak, we do not speak working. This is our own language. Slang, Black American slang is what you get when you have our African ancestors having to, by gunpoint, essentially, having to learn on the fly English from people who didn't want to actually teach them grammar and between English. The reality is a lot of these slaveholders, and especially in the South, didn't speak proper English either. But you know what I'm saying? And so that is a part of our history. And when we communicate with one another, we understand each other very well. We can communicate very complex ideas precisely and effectively. And so that means that this is a complex, sophisticated, and effective language. And so don't feel like you have to put on the Queen's English just because you're around a bunch of white people. Right? You know what I'm saying?
How about we go ahead and separate and make our own shit that it sounds like, it's a great foundation of what black excellence to be, you know what I'm saying?
Well, maybe it's a little to work with this thing. Like, get something out of it for my constituency. Because like Paul Manson said, he's there to represent or was there to.
And then I'm sorry to interrupt, but he's talking about all of this. I'm not sure if he has a degree, but she's like I said, she's highly accomplished. She went to school back in like $3 million.
Pretty sure you are.
So why are you telling her how to be her job?
Harvard graduate.
Like Stephen A, just stick to sports, my dog. Just stick to sports.
Exactly.
You know, like stop talking about politics because
You go for a shot before you go?
Hey, he's trying to be he's trying to be on that side. He's trying to get those white men, you know what I'm saying? He represents the people.
Don't waver. Keep going.
Right, I got to go. Hey, look at we make if we just act like they got no relation to it, we not get treated like that. Then we out there, they got no dog. They ain't no worse than a racing like that. I see right here in the first one, you know what I'm saying? Get in the body, they ain't no good, you know. You got all the backlash to like these folks. They know what they can do.
I want to take notice because that's what something that
Come on, boy. Relax.
in regards to and how he came as representative.
Relax, buddy.
Show me your
And
skills.
I wanted to take this opportunity to attack this issue as it pertains to me and Gabby Process because I always have had an issue. I believe that and that's what I'm going to do. Okay. And so when somebody says to me, Stephen, rather than push my car and help her because it's all right.
Keep going.
And that's the thing. It's always never approaching the crime in ways that they don't like. Oh, it's a problem. You know, it's just like a carrot bothering you. You know, that was a say they can call the police and you're in trouble. Like, we always got to put around. Always that. We always have to be the nice guy. We always got to be a bigger man. That's why I'm going to go lower. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes
And if that is the reason that everybody's in an uproar, that is fine. I apologize to the next of my sister because, damn it, I want her to know. Those people have no problem. Just like I didn't feel that way about Kamala Harris. Just like I don't feel that way about the marvelous, the wonderful, the incomparable, the great first lady ever, Michelle Obama, in my
My
opinion.
apologies.
Somebody, yeah. So what we're doing is this. On this show, understand who the hell I am.
Stitch. What the hell, bud? What's up? You want me to open the door for you? Yeah?
Make somebody feel very, I respect that. I can respect that. I'm going to challenge the legitimacy of what people come at me with. When I think that challenge is warranted and deserved.
Alright, I ain't finna hear him talk about it. Nonsense.
Right? You